So it's 8 a.m. in the morning in Poland, and I'm going to Lublin from Warsaw by bus. This trip will be, as usual, by Couchsurfing friends, and I expect to have a good time in Lublin. And this is the meeting point, as usual, Parkingowa and Żurawia. It must be a nice trip coming. Alright, see you in Lublin.
Today's video, as you could guess, is about a recent weekend trip to Lublin with the Couchsurfing group. We rented a bus from Warsaw to Lublin that took around 2 hours to reach the destination, which seemed to be quick enough. The bus provided by Flixbus provided good conditions to make the journey there comfortable for everybody. Our first stop on the trip was at the Lublin Village open-air museum. We had to wait until our trip organizer Łukasz purchased tickets for the whole group before we entered. Regular one cost 20 zlotys and reduced one 10 zlotys.
Well, these flowers are so beautiful. Yeah, especially these ones. Mother of Nature here.
This is a plan of the open-air museum. The Lublin Village Open-Air Museum is interesting for its spectacular views of local nature and preserved households of that time, so to say, a natural example of Polish agricultural sector.
If these are meant to be benches, why are they so high? Or I don't understand that. If they were benches, that I would be easily taking seat. So this must be Kierat. Those gears. Such a difficult mechanism to understand. One must be engineer in order to understand it. And what is more, these are beehives. I guess somebody just makes honey out of it. Not sure how it is relevant to Museum Lubielskiej, but at least I've seen beehives in real life. Yeah. Oh, I like that architecture. Oh, those wooden houses, old times, reminding me of history of ancient Rus. Ah, no, this is the house I should be feeling flattered about. With these foldable windows as well. From childhood, from fairy tales, yeah. Oh, especially this one. Ziemlianka or Ziemlianka. Oh man, wish I could live there. If I could. This one must be sauna because of hanging leaves. And bottles, moonshine. So basically this is sauna. That's cottage, so chalupa z gozdu lipińskiego. And they use it to live, they use it to take a bed, they use it to sit and watch at the window. And here they used to cook. Oh, those ancient or Middle East time. Oh yeah. Now some of the guys just paid attention on this. What I understood, there's something hung, and I thought that this was something for drying. That made me perplexed because I don't understand what the purpose of that gadget is.
This is a typical household furnished with equipment of the time, well for water and trough for feeding animals. Because it's dark inside, to see the interior we had to use flashlights on our phones.
Oh yeah, this time it's not a sauna because of knitting machine. Yeah, it's just a chamber. I have actually noticed one thing about the entrance. My height is 1 meter 90 centimeters, but how can I get through this entrance without bending myself? Just need to show how it looks. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Well, people must be lower of the height than now because of this.
There are also barns for storing cows and horses. In this one as seen, there are no animals. Moreover, there is a characteristic smell of dung, which is typical of life in the village. On the inside there is equipment of that time piled together. And the interior looks a bit spooky, not only because of darkness.
Apples! Plenty of apples on the ground! Ah! Apples! Wish I could wash them and eat. Ah! Just imagine apple melting in my mouth. Ah! Oh shit! Apple! At first I thought that it was a doghouse. Unless I look down, that must be either shelter or passage from one yard to another. Or maybe all three will pass.
As we were hungry on the way there, we went for a lunch break at a local cafe that was empty in the morning. I took a chance to eat not only what I prepared in my lunchbox, but I also ordered pierogi with mayonnaise and ketchup. The whole lunch was delicious. Few steps away from that cafe, there is a little Greek Catholic church built of wood. I wasn't sure whether it's allowed to take photos inside, so I looked around its view. Behind the church, there is a little garden full of colorful flowers. As we walked down the path, I noticed few more houses, which are a part of a picturesque landscape I couldn't resist taking a photo of. It reminded me of Hobbit Earthhut from the Lord of the Rings movie, but in a Slavic manner. These two little houses seem to me rather not in use. They definitely look spooky.
Oh, just look at this ship. Probably the first time I'm seeing it in real life. But it's so cute, really. Oh.
Because I've been holding this too.
I want to stay here.
Man, she's so fluffy.
No, that's okay.
Especially when ship is eating grass.
Yes. He needs to be ready.
Oh my god, what is that thing?
Yeah, I don't know. It's something for hay, I think.
Oh, it's so big. I think that must be for cutting grass. That's what I could think of. And these are where the sheep are sleeping and eating before the farmer taking them off at the walk.
Our walk through the open-air museum ended up at a little pond. Man, a landscape with a pond is always exciting on the frame, isn't it? As it was time to go back earlier than expected, we turned back towards our bus.
Oh yeah, those chickens and roosters, or cocks, rather roosters. How many eggs will they put?
It's amazing when farm life allows nowadays, even in view of tourists.
And so we approach the exit of the museum. Over here. Yeah.
We return to our bus close to 1 p.m., which marks the end of the first part of our Lublin trip. Our next stop was the city center, especially the Castle Museum. The way to the city center took us just 20 minutes by bus. At first glance, Lublin seemed to me small and quite cramped from the highway. Our bus arrived at the city center at 1:25 p.m. There was a choice, either to go to the castle first or to the city center, so I chose the second one.
Because of the fact that I prefer more city sightseeing, I will visit castle later. For now, I will be going to city center to see old town of Lublin.
To enter Lublin Old Town, I went through the so-called Grodzka Gate.
Like in Warsaw or in Krakow, there is also ghetto boundary. So in that case, it existed in 1941, 1942.
The main street of the Old Town is called Grodzka, like in Krakow Old Town.
These are the ruins of a castle, I guess. They remind me of illustration from Wikipedia article about London, of ruins of the first Roman building built in terms of London. But because we're in Lublin, it's closer to London in terms of letters, then there must be a coincidence. Okay, it's parish church, or kościół farny in Polish. Smash like if you scan the QR code on the pause. Actually, I paid attention at the souvenir shop. There's a flag on the left side, this Polish flag, of course. The second flag resembles me flag of Bulgaria. If not the green stripe that is narrower than the Bulgarian flag, and if not the coat. Such an interesting view is opening. And from another view. So in the meantime, the right side of the street is full of restaurants and bars. As if I'm in the time machine. Oh my god. It's a beautiful narrow street. Yeah, and these bricks are more contrast of all times.
This must be the local marketplace.
Well, if someone tried to turn logic that whether Rynek exists in Lublin, good news, it does. Looks like this. Actually, one thing I noticed about Rynek in Lublin, it's the fact that it doesn't look like, for example, Rynek Główny in Krakow or Old Town Market in Warsaw. Yet it has some strange shape with building on the middle.
On this day, the European Flavor Festival took place here. At the festival, there were different local goods, such as honey or cakes in particular. The traders were traditionally dressed in national costumes. The prices weren't that expensive, just their average price was around 30 zlotys. Apart from local goods, international goods were sold as well. For example, one stall was owned by Italian-speaking traders.
Reminds me of one in Krakow. Especially by the fact that this house in Krakow is theater. Of course, here it plays another role, maybe for living. This one looks like Kozia Street in Warsaw. Kozia, I mean. This one is also a picturesque view. Love it.
It was time for another lunch break. I ordered a meal, including spicy sauce, for 34 zlotys. I decided to leave some for later when we get back home. As we had plenty of time to spend in the city center, I decided to take a short walk individually. I left the old town through the Krakowska gate and went along Krakowskie Przedmieście Street towards Litewski Square. So far I could go to save some time for visiting the castle museum later.
Just little fountains. Yeah, nothing much. The title for taking photos standing for I love Lublin. Okay, so I will just take a selfie. Okay, it doesn't make, but during playback it will be possible to take photo.
One of the most interesting tourist attractions is the real-time video portal.
So this is a portal to Vilnius, which is in Lithuania. You don't need to buy tickets to Lithuania in order to visit it, just stand in front of the portal. And you will see the street in Vilnius. This square actually reminds me of Muranów in Warsaw. Similar, no? This must be the earlier logo of Medical Center Lux Med. Not a product placement. This is how bus looks like in Lublin. This is the bus stop. It would be better if I show it from that side, because it's hard to see how the bus stop looks like this. For example, Brama Krakowska. And I can see that the display stand with bus stop schedule looks a bit moderner. And this is a display with closest routines arriving. And yeah, ticket machines in Lublin, ZTM in Lublin, or Lubika. Because on the right side of this ticket machine it's written Komunikacja Jutra Lubika. That's all you wanna need to hear about local bus system. Me approaching back to Old Town Square.
Gates to the Old Town make it special. On my way to the castle, it started raining as we expected in advance.
Theoretically it started raining, but judging by the strength of rain, I would not use the umbrella I took for this journey.
That was the end of my individual walk down the Lublin Old Town. I left it through the Grodzka gate and went down the castle. Not only did I go to see it, but particularly the museum in it. Due to private events, I was lucky to pay 7.5 zlotys only for permanent exhibitions. The first exhibition tells the story of Lublin in its prehistoric and early medieval periods, along with archaeological discoveries of that time.
It looks like children's kitchenery. It looks like the woman is cooking something on a bonfire. And I appreciate the fact that the clay woman looks realistic. Old times, actually. She is buried. He must be sleeping. Both look like drunk people. Yeah, looks a bit scary, but it's a museum. Looking at all those 214 silver Arab coins, your mind trying to calculate how many zlotys are there displayed. This map shows how early medieval Lublin looks like. As a replacement of New Town shown in the photo, so Lublin must be one of the ancient cities in Poland.
That is the armory and weapons of the Polish army. Opposite it, there are two realistic statues dressed in army uniforms of that time.
This is the Polish army infantryman, and this is the Polish army officer. And They look realistic and somehow remind of Red Army.
Behind it, there are military-themed paintings and portraits of military men of Polish army. It was interesting to see how the Polish army is pictured in artist's vision. Next, I was attracted by vintage clocks. As long as I was staring at them, the only question was in my mind: why don't they show real time with characteristic ticking? Lublin is located in the east of Poland, so close to the Polish-Belarusian border. Consequently, this exhibition is connected with Orthodox Christianity, presenting paintings of saints and being accompanied by soothing singing.
This slideshow shows some scenes from Jesus Christ and some relevant to Eastern European religion.
The hall is decorated by marvelous paintings displaying nature and animals of Lublin.
Actually, these pictures drawn remind me of Soviet cartoons or Soviet artists, and they look pretty much artistic and picturesque. Wow, especially this one! Is that Yemelia? Lol.
The last exhibition during my visit to the museum has become memorable for me. In the middle of the room, there are dozens of traditional clothes for both men and women. I was impressed by their colorfulness and variety. Here, the clothing on the right is my favorite. Apart from it, there are also musical instruments, such as violins, other string instruments, and even some kind of accordion. A cherry on top of a cake is the realistic layout of Lublin Castle, located near the staircase to the exit. The museum tour is rounded up by the collection of Polish coins from different eras.
So we were also supposed to go to brewery. However, one of organizers wrote us that it's been closed due to technical reasons. So instead, I will simply walk around and see the city again. In the meantime, organization of the concert in the Royal Castle is ongoing. The orchestra will be performing there. But I don't have time for it, just showing you this, because I will be leaving Castle now.
Our trip finished with a dinner break. After that, we went home by bus. Overall, that was an interesting trip and I really enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Here was Matt and I see you in the next video.